Robin Lundberg Show, and wow, what did we just see? What did we just see at that WWE press conference? I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. I don't know if they're sure. I don't know if they're sure, to be honest with you. The Rock just turned heel, right? The Rock just turned heel off of the We Want Cody movement. This is one of the craziest things that's ever happened in the history of entertainment. You know, in pro wrestling, in the history of entertainment, period. This is a surreal moment. This is going to be something we talk about for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives. I've never seen anything like this before. Because none of this could have been the plan. I don't care what they tell us later. I don't believe it for a second that this was the plan to get to this point. Now, if it was, they are mad geniuses. But there's still the part of it that doesn't make sense. The fact that why would Cody Rhodes win the Rumble and then say, I'm coming for you, Roman, but not at WrestleMania, and then backtrack like this? That's the part of that doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense. It all happened after CM Punk's injury as well, right? So those things make it not make sense. But I'll give WWE credit. I'll give them credit for this. They have used this to their advantage. I don't know if they thought they would get the kind of response that The Rock has gotten since he came back. I don't know if they thought they would get the chance to go against him. The boos that have come towards The Rock. We want Cody. Rocky sucks. Those sort of things. I don't know if they were prepared for that. I don't know if they were prepared for that. I mean, some of that stuff is just surreal to see when you're talking about The Rock. And some of it is just surreal to see. There's The Rock at the press conference, face to face with Cody. Slapped him right in the face. Slapped him right in the face. And said, don't insult my family. And then he curses out Triple H backstage and seems to link up with Roman Reigns after the idea of Roman Reigns and Rock is booed out of the building, which was supposed to be a dream match. A once-in-a-lifetime match. Rock and Roman. But then, no, they're booing. They're booing the freaking Rock. Now, I saw this starting to build up the right kind of energy and the right kind of steam earlier today when The Rock was calling Cody's fans Cody crybabies and everything like that. Cody crybabies. Playing off it, sort of channeling that Hollywood Rock energy, that heel Rock energy. That was cool to see because I've said it on this show. The Rock has felt kind of lame to me in recent years, kind of relying on his catchphrases and the corporate Hollywood thing. But he has a lot of stake in this because he is on the board at TKO. So this is the Rock's baby again, in a sense. He's going back to what made him what he is, and now he is a part of the fabric of that. And its success and failure will live and die with Rocky. Die, Rocky, die. Or long live The Rock. So this is important to him in that sense. That was unbelievable television. Unbelievable television. Rock telling Triple H, have him talk shit about our family again. I mean, and look at this moment right here. You just see it. It's been building towards this since this whole thing started, since this got underway.
We have a problem.
Woo! I mean, come on. Come on. You got, and I have no idea. What is the WrestleMania main event going to look like right now? What's it going to look like? Anybody have any idea what it's going to look like? Is it going to be 2 nights? Is Cody going to have to go against Rock and Roman? Is it going to be some sort of tag? Fatal 4-way? And then there's poor Seth Rollins just sitting there to the side. Like, hey, guys, what about me? What about Seth freaking Rollins? That is one of the most wild and surreal things I've ever seen. And as dumb as the return of The Rock seemed, and as poorly planned as that seemed in the grand scheme of things, you got to give them credit for adjusting on the fly. Because they even brought that energy between The Rock and Triple H. You know, that to me is selling it a little bit too, because Triple H is supposed to be the boss. He's supposed to be the boss. But instead, you got The Rock coming out and reading him the riot act and making him look like, you know, he's the employee instead.
You got to fix it. Fix it. Have them talk shit about our family again, and that's what happens.
It's out of line. You know it.
It's not out of line. How much? Have them talk shit.
They had to
If you don't
bleep
fix
out
it,
a
we
lot of
will.
what he's saying.
Have them family again.
You don't even know what he's saying. He's talking that way to the Triple H, who's running the show. So here's where I'm going to give The Rock credit. Because I said he had been acting lame. This is the energy I want to see. I'm back on the Rocky bandwagon with this energy. This is superstar, transcendent, legend energy. The kind of stuff that you talk about for you. I don't care if you're booing him, cheering him, whatever. He has brought the juice to WWE. He's brought the juice to WWE. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I forgot to do that. You know, smash the like button. Thumbs up. Make sure you do all that stuff. But, I mean, this is unbelievable. What's going on here? The build to this WrestleMania. I'm so intrigued. There's almost nothing in my life I care about now other than this. How sad is that? I mean, obviously, you know what I mean. But my goodness, let me get to some of your comments. Kevin Zwicker, that was some high quality stuff. Yeah, I mean, of course. That was as good as it gets. I mean, they were talking up that presser, and I was saying that presser would be bigger than anything that happened out of the Super Bowl, and I was right. I was right. That was bigger than anything that has happened out of the Super Bowl this week, no question. No question. William Simmons, it was really confusing what's going to happen. I don't know, man. I don't know either. But that's part of the intrigue of the build here. Because now they can milk this. This can be the road to WrestleMania. You know, they've already sold all those tickets. They've already got all these people committed to be there. I didn't think it was a big miss. I thought Cody coming out was great. I thought everything about tonight was as well executed as The Rock's return and Cody giving up his spot was poorly executed. Cody's vibe and spirit is back now. The fans did not let it go away because he looked like a punk on SmackDown. They booked him to look like a punk, coming out and saying, I'm going to try. That's the belt I've always wanted to finish my story with. And, I'm coming for you, Roman, just not at the biggest wrestling event. Nah, I'm going to give it up to The Rock after I won the Rumble. And then I'm going to make faces. You know, he looked like a punk. But the fans have been so invested in Cody Rhodes that they refused. They refused. That's about as organic a movement as you'll ever see. You know, there's no way they thought The Rock was going to get booed. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. There's no way they saw that coming. This guy, the People's Champ. When he was trying to call himself the People's Champ and they were booing him, when he was trying to say how big a match he and Roman would be and they were rejecting that notion, that's why I think you started to see that energy earlier in the day. You started to see The Rock on his Hollywood Rock-ish.
Other passionate fans of Cody.
Yep.
And they're called the what's that? Oh, Cody Crybabies. Yeah. That's what they're called.
Okay, all right. Okay, got it. I didn't know the name that was coming.
It was the Cody Crybabies,
Yeah, okay.
and these are grown-ass men. And Cody gotta finish his story. He has to finish his story right now. It's like, wait a second, hold on. Hey, Dad, You want to go outside and play catch with me? Not now. Cody's got to and I'm upset. The wife comes in. Hey, honey, do you want to go have sex? Not now. Cody's got to finish his story. At the end of the day, look, you got the Cody crybabies.
I mean, that was the kind of energy that I wanted to see from The Rock. William Simmons says, but he didn't look good getting smacked. I don't know. Cody looked good. Cody has looked good in this whole thing. Cody has looked good. As bad as he looked in that one moment, he has looked good, big picture, because the fans refuse to let this happen. Or it's genius next level booking. We're going to make it look so stupid that they're going to get so mad that we're going to have to undo it. I don't think they're that galaxy brained. And I've given WWE a lot of credit. I think under this regime, everything has kind of made sense. They've had good builds, all that stuff. And that's why it didn't sit right with me the way this went down. Because if Rock had won the Rumble, I think people would be okay with Rock and Roman. Cody fans would still be upset, but in general, people would be okay with Rock and Roman. But it didn't make sense. However, like I said, you got to give them credit for rolling with it. And going with heel Rock, with Hollywood Rock. And that's how I think The Rock gets his mojo back too. And that bloodline link up with Roman was hard. That was hard. Robert Parker, I haven't paid attention to wrestling in 25 years. And because of The Rock today, I'm engaged. Yeah. I mean, that's what you have to give Rock credit for. People can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can hate on him. And I was hating on him a little bit too. And I didn't, love it and all that stuff. But more people are talking about WWE because of The Rock. Hence the title of this episode. I didn't even know what was going to happen with the press conference when I scheduled it and titled it. But I knew from what Rock said about Cody Crybabies, he was going to bring that kind of energy. And he's brought that Hollywood energy to WWE. Hollywood Rock energy to WWE. And, wrestling has, I always say this is one of the bits I do when I host on General Sports Talk Radio. Like I was on Mad Dog Sports Radio last night. I'll be on again Super Bowl Sunday, by the way, Channel 82, Sirius XM at noon, I believe, on Sunday, if you want to check that out. But whenever I start talking about wrestling on a general sports show, I say this because I know bosses are listening and whatnot. Everybody has a connection. Everybody has a connection to wrestling. Whether you're a hardcore fan who's watching Raw and SmackDown and AEW, and going with the product every week, every day, every PLE, or you're a parachute fan where you've kept up, but you're not engaged all the time. However, when the Rumble comes around, when WrestleMania comes around, you come in. Or you haven't seen pro wrestling in 20, 30 years, but you can do a mean Macho Man Randy Savage impression. Oh, yeah. Or Hulk Hogan. Let me tell you something, brother. Or whoever your favorite was. Everybody has that connection. And for people of a certain age, like my age, the deepest rooted connection is either the stuff that was childhood. I just referenced Hogan and Savage and Hart and Michaels, of course, and that era. Undertaker started there. Or the Attitude Era. And when the Attitude Era came to be, WWE, I think it was still called WWF at the time, was the coolest thing in the world. An Austin 316 shirt was the coolest thing you could have. And after Monday Night Raw, that's what everybody was talking about. It's what everybody was talking about. And that's back right now. And at that time, it was Stone Cold, it was really the NWO and what they were doing over in WCW, building up the Monday Night Wars and winning for a while. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was the first salvo back, along with DX. And then The Rock. Stone Cold Steve Austin ran so The Rock could fly. And The Rock just went to heights that, I mean, Hogan sort of flirted with that. Cena has done very well since that. But The Rock went to places nobody had gone before because of his charisma. I mean, he started Scorpion King, and then he was box office before Black Adam. And, you know, you have to wonder if some of that stuff did hurt his pride. You have to wonder if he was ready for the boos and the way the crowd received him. But it doesn't matter if he was ready, because they did a fantastic job adjusting on the fly. And now I don't know what WrestleMania is going to look like. Cody just chose Roman. Roman just chose Rock. Seth Rollins just stood there. Wow. That was cool. That was cool. That was about as good as it gets. Hit me up in the comments section. Weigh in on what we just witnessed. But I give them credit. They saved it. They saved it. Because we don't know the answer to this question now. We don't know the answer to this question now. And that's going to lead to the intrigue and the buildup. And we do know now that they're not just going to push Cody to the side. That We Want Cody movement is real. You saw it. Rock's standing up there. Let me see if I can get that. You know, We Want Cody. Well, Rock is standing up there trying to speak to the crowd. And you get people to give it back to him. We want Cody. Rocky sucks. We want Cody. Rocky sucks. I mean, I could play the audio for you, but this image captures it right there. There it is. We want Cody. Rocky sucks. From the Cody Crybabies. And for The Rock to coin that term, the Cody Crybabies, that's something new. And apparently Triple H just tweeted, Cody versus Roman is official. So what does that mean for The Rock, if that is the case? Because, I mean, it certainly seemed like they were going, yeah, wow, breaking news right here on the show. Now, there's gonna be more intrigue. This is not the end of this twist and turn. I mean, The Rock could override Triple H, right? But according to Triple H, at this very moment, it is Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. Here's the thing. We know The Rock's not going away. At this point, given what he's done to get on the board, given what he's done in this storyline, given that alliance with Roman, I mean, is he just going to be in Roman's corner? And what if Rock screws Cody so Roman wins again? Ooh, the heat. The heat. So that's the big question, I guess, is what's Rock's involvement going to be if it is indeed Cody and Roman? This is something else. This is history in the making. You guys can continue to comment, send your reactions to what we just saw at that press conference. Of course, really historic stuff. And we don't know what's going to happen with Seth. It seemed like they're building towards Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, in addition to the Io Sky Bailey match, which leaves Bianca up in the air. Are they going to go the Jade button already with Bianca? That'd be interesting. But that was damn cool. That was damn cool. The other thing I wanted to get into on today's show, I told some of you guys out there I would talk about this. The New York Knicks. If you followed my career, you know, I talked about a lot of New York basketball on, it was first 1050 ESPN radio, and then it became 98.7 ESPN radio. And when I came to the city, I was the biggest NBA head at that station. And they didn't really talk basketball. The Knicks were on that station. They didn't really talk basketball. And I was pushing for it. and pushing for it. And I even rationalized the moves that Isaiah Thomas made. I was hyping up Eddie Curry after his streak of scoring performances. I was trying to talk myself into Stephon Marbury. That era of the team. And then we were campaigning for LeBron. I think I've told this before, but I was doing Max Kellerman's show. I was producing Stephen A. and Max Kellerman's show back to back at that time, I think. And I was doing Max Kellerman's show, and we did a bit on that show called The New York Cavs of Cleveland, where we were rooting for the Cavs from afar. The Knicks were so bad, we had to root for the Cavs because we wanted LeBron to come to New York. We even had Mike Brown, who was the coach of the Cavs, on as a guest. And I went into the locker room to interview the New York Cavs of Cleveland. Wally Zerbiak, he's in media now. You could tell because he gave me a good soundbite. Ben Wallace, it felt like he wanted to kill me. He was on that team, if you recall. And, of course, LeBron didn't choose the Knicks. Come on, LeBron. That's got to exist somewhere. Search me and Mayor Bloomberg. I did a remix video, like a little dancey track to that. And then that dream was gone. And I didn't give up on the Knicks being good. I covered them. It was Super Bowl week, in fact. I think the Indianapolis Super Bowl. A lot of times when you go to Radio Row at the Super Bowl, you fly back on Friday. And I flew back on Friday, covered a Knicks game on Saturday. That Knicks game on Saturday was the start of Linsanity. It was against Darren Williams and the Nets. I remember Dan D'Antoni telling Jeremy Lin as he was doing a quad stretch, be ready, you might get your chance. And, of course, that was electric. Maybe the coolest thing I've ever covered. The way that ended left a sour taste in my mouth. I can't, whatever happened with Jeremy Lin in his career post that, it still never sat right with me the way that happened, considering how he became a star there. I think injuries hurt Lin's career. Injuries and bad luck hurt his career more than anything. Because as soon as he got to the Rockets, Harden came over to the Rockets, and Harden dominates the ball. As good as Harden is or was, it still is pretty good. He dominates the ball. And Lin needed the ball to be his best version of himself. And then he went to the Lakers, and that was a messy situation. And when he went back to the Nets, I thought he was going to get another opportunity after he sort of built his value back up in Charlotte. And then he had a really bad injury, and his career was never the same. So I think it was a combination of bad luck and injury. But that situation never sat right with me. But I did play-by-play for a Knicks game on the spot. On the spot. The scheduling was messed up, and they said, oh, no, we don't have a play-by-play guy. What are we going to do? And I was like, I'll do it. And I just went down and did a play-by-play game, no prep, on the spot for the radio. That's how well I knew the team. So how well I know the sport. And then I was championing the Kristaps Porzingis drum too. And at the same time, we all know the story with the Nets and Hove and the rivalry stuff and whatever. Wherever my fandom wound up going is not the point here. The point here is that all of that is to say, I graduated from high school in the year 2000. I graduated from college in the year 2004. I worked in New York City till the pandemic, 2020. That entire time, the Knicks were run like garbage and embarrassing and pathetic and paranoid. And you could feel it. It was an energy you could feel. You would go and remember the Wile E. Coyote sketch where he'd walk one place and the little black cloud would follow him? It was like that. And that's gone now. I don't know what exactly happened. I don't know if Dolan just completely took a step back. Because remember the Phil Jackson years too? Also really ugly. But this Leon Rose regime is mad quiet and mad effective. Mad quiet and mad effective. The Knicks, they made another smart move. I mean, they made a brilliant move in Jalen Brunson. If you saw the Mavericks play, Brunson was damn good whenever he got the chance. Luka's kind of like Harden, as I was just referencing, in the sense where, I mean, as good as Luka is, and he's awesome. No one's dissing Luka, but he dominates the ball. And Jalen Brunson needs the ball. That's just how his game works. And those playoff games, when Luka was out, Brunson went off, but you still have those doubts like, oh, can he do that consistently? Well, he sure as hell can. He may not be the most athletic dude, but he can get to his spots. He can finish. He is a really skilled player. Hell of a player. Best signing in the history of the franchise. One of the best free agent signings in the history of the NBA. And that's why I don't get when Knicks fans are always clamoring for a star. I mean, I don't think the Knicks need another star the way they've been playing. I think they need to just keep improving the team. Because Julius Randle's played really well, credit to him. Now in the playoffs, do I have my doubts about Randle and decision making? Yeah, I do. But he's a really good player. And Anunoby was a good acquisition. I was behind that trade. They needed somebody between Randle and Brunson, and he fit that. Now, of course, his injury is a bummer. Hopefully he gets back sooner rather than later. But DiVincenzo, another good signing. He's been very good. I mean, some of these other dudes like Hartenstein, like where did he come from? And now these moves today where Alec Burks was on the team, fans are familiar with him, but they really could use some scoring off the bench, having lost quickly. And he's a capable professional NBA scorer. And then Bogdanovich was sort of toiling away in Detroit. And he gives them depth. And depth with size, because Bogdanovich can play a few positions. Not the fastest guy laterally, but big, could shoot, and is crafty. So it's not like the kind of move that blows you away, but the kind of moves that a smart team makes. And now it's been enough time where we're starting to see the consistency of the Knicks making those sort of smart moves. So hats off. Wow, my hair looks terrible. I gotta take a shower or something. I've had hats on all day. I've been running around. I know I've got the new era look going on. I'm rocking the hats and stuff. I need a cleaner hat too. But hats off to the Knicks. They are now a well-run team. So salute to the Knicks fans who have stuck it out through thick and thin. Not some of y'all are mad sensitive and almost mean. Like get over yourselves. You don't have to be so insecure. I'm talking like, Knicks fans who can have cordial conversations. Salute to all of you guys, but especially the ones who can have a cordial conversation. Because when I used to criticize the Knicks, they deserved it. I'm not like going out of my way and making things up. I'm not a hater. But there was plenty to hate on about the Knicks. I'll put it that way. And now I got nothing bad to say about them. Not a single bad thing to say about them. The Knicks can get healthy before playoff time with these moves. I think they have a legit shot to make the finals. I agree. We're in a different NBA nowadays. Where the dynastic star stacking days are done. I don't think, these super teams haven't even worked out. So it's not a guarantee, of course. And there are good teams in the East you got to go through. But the Knicks are a good team. They're one of those good teams in the East you got to go through. They were in the second round with Miami last year. They're better this year. Miami went on to go to the finals themselves. So, yeah, I would not be surprised at all to see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I wouldn't be shocked to see the Knicks in the NBA Finals. I wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be shocked at all. Yeah, I mean, look, I talked NBA. I did. And I always, one of my stock lines was New York is a basketball town. The teams just won't let it be that way. So hopefully all that pent-up energy does manifest itself in the legendary tales that people tell about Madison Square Garden and everything like that. Leon Rose has taken the worst franchise in basketball and turned them into a damn good team without assigning that what most would call a star. Yeah, well, I mean, Brunson is a star, though. Brunson is a star. So, go New York, go New York, go. Congratulations, Knicks fans. Only positive things to say from me about the team and the direction that it's headed in. Mason Lukin, Cody and Jay versus Roman and Rock at Chamber. I don't know if that's happening. I don't know. I mean, that would be great. That'd be amazing. It seemed like they were building towards Jay and Gunther now. And I think I read that Gunther might not be able to work Chamber because of his work visa or something like that. I honestly don't know where they're going, and that's exciting. That's exciting. Now, Triple H has announced that it will be Cody Roman at WrestleMania. So take that for what it's worth. But The Rock just told Triple H to fix it because The Rock turned heel. And as I said before, as poor as it seemed, as fumbled as it seemed, they recovered their own fumble, I guess is the metaphor I'm going for. That was brilliant. That press conference was brilliant. So I said salute to the Knicks. Salute to WWE for pulling that off. Salute to The Rock for pulling that off. Finally, The Rock did not come off as lame. That's the energy we need to see. Because whatever the main event is, The Rock's going to be involved. The Rock's going to be involved at WrestleMania. And he's bringing that Hollywood Rock energy. All right, guys. I started a little late tonight because of the press conference, but I wanted to go live after that. Robin Lundberg Show, Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Would you guys want this in podcast form too? I'm thinking of, I started this like this. So I'm building it as I go. I had first guest yesterday. Peter Rosenberg was the first guest on the show. I'll start incorporating more guests, hopefully one a week, something like that. I think is a good cadence. Maybe obviously specific to certain topics too, but I could convert it into an audio podcast as well for people who digest things in a different way. But I'll be here every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. I really do appreciate all the support I've gotten from you guys, this community that's coming along. All right, well, that says that's enough just for you. I'll get that. I've got a lot of stuff going on at Super Bowl at work. If I don't get it done like tomorrow or by next, I am in the process that those wheels are turning. I guess I would go back and re-upload everything. But even if I just start from when I get the feed ready and whatnot, like I said, this show was birthed and the origin of it came in a real sense of inspiration, raw emotion, and really wanting to connect with you guys. And I said on that show, the initial show, I wanted to go to YouTube and I told the whole origin story. Check out the first episode of the show if you didn't hear that. But obviously, I'm now streaming to some other places as well. So it's only natural that I convert this into a podcast too. And I want to get to you guys wherever you are because it has meant a lot to me that you guys have come to me. I've reconnected with fans that used to listen to my old radio show. You guys are in the comment section. I mean, if it wasn't for this comment section, this show would be much shorter. Let me put it that way. And it also keeps me going. It keeps. I was going to keep going regardless. I set a schedule for myself, and I knew I had to be consistent. But I mean, from like a "you can do it" standpoint, right? So that is great. Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Robin Lundberg Show. What a WrestleMania press conference. And the Knicks are a smart organization. I'll see you guys. Well, I mean, I'll do some other stuff between now and then, but I'll see you guys here on Monday. Same Robin time, same Robin channel.